All right, so our next topic here is going to be again sticking with the Batman news, but this is going to be a journey back to the past to Val Kilmer's take on Batman during Batman Forever. So some news has came out that there was an extended cut, Rick, of Batman Forever that came out that was 170 minutes long. It was supposedly darker and some I don't know how really with Jim Carrey and
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones.
with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones's performance, I don't know how you can make that darker in any way.
It was pretty dark in its own right, but
Yeah,
not really. But
not the kind of dark that this is kind of pitching the movie as. But this article has come out and has essentially said that during I guess the third act, Batman it would have been fighting a actual like human-sized bat. That's what the main thing. This is this article in general that I got is from Digital Spy, but it's all around everywhere. But yeah, Rick. So what do you think that? Because here's the thing that I have with this is like I kind of said, I don't really know how you could have made this movie dark. Granted, it's nowhere near as campy as Batman and Robin was.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give it that. Like, I like both of those movies in
Oh, when I was a
right.
kid, they were
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, for a kid, those movies were amazing. And, I mean, we hadn't even been introduced to the darker side of Batman on screen because that didn't really happen
It's
until
almost like a comedy.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, especially once you bring in Arnie as Mr. Freeze with all the ice puns, like, I mean, that was Batman and Robin was a straight comedy movie, like, 100%. Like, if they were gonna say that they had a darker cut of that movie, I'd say you're fucking crazy. Like, there's no fucking way. You would have had to shoot. It's like the Snyder cut of Batman and Robin that would exist because there's no way with the footage that that was released in that original cut you can make it darker. But do you think that essentially Val Kilmer's Batman taking on essentially Man Bat would have made it any darker? Because I honestly don't think it would have. I think it may have made a cool, interesting, I don't know, third act. Because we were talking about it off camera, like in the third act of the existing theatrical cut of Batman Forever.
Yeah.
He's taking on the Riddler when he has his, at the end of the film, when he's getting all the brain juice pumped into him, and he's just sitting there on the chair,
like freaking out,
being super, super dark and spooky,
super Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but he has that one quick vision of like a bat flying towards him, like because he's like kind of like hallucinating or whatever. And then when the bat comes, he like opens his eyes and he throws the batarang at him. I've seen the movie a lot, and I haven't watched it in probably over 10 years now, but I remember it like to a T. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. So essentially, my guess is though, like that would have been the first initiation of this man bat battle. I would imagine the regular sized bat was flying towards him, then maybe he gets tackled by man bat, right?
Yeah,
and then the madness ensues. Like, do you think that would have made that movie any better, or do you think it was good that it was cut out?
I don't know. That could have been a little bit too much, having like Two-Face, the Riddler, Man Bat. But I mean, depending on how they did it, I guess.
Right, and it's kind of like a cop out way for them to actually include Man Bat because it was just going to be like a hallucination.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm the one saying it was Man Bat, but when you have a human-sized bat in the Batman universe that already exists, it's called Man Bat.
Yeah.
So it would have obviously been a nod to Man Bat, I would assume. Because otherwise, I don't know, like why else would it be there?
Batman versus Man Bat.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't buy the fact that like that's the only thing that like would have made it any darker. And the article goes on to say that there's been like because of Joel Schumacher's passing and like somehow this information of this extended director's cut leaked out that there's some people have been clamoring for it to be released, and Warner Brothers has said like they don't have any plans of releasing this.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me believe that maybe for one, I'm questioning like would this have been a practical thing, like the dude in the bat like would have been in a bat suit, or would it have been like a CG thing? Because at the time CG wasn't where it was at.
No.
So like part of me thinks that like Warner Brothers not wanting to release this probably means that that sequence wasn't finished in some capacity.
Yeah.
It'd be my guess.
I couldn't imagine it looking too good with practical effects either, but
it depends on how it would be shot. I mean, if you got to think, you go back to the 70s when Alien was released.
Yeah.
The xenomorphs were practical, and the way they made them look good was just pretty much quick cuts.
Yeah.
I mean, and dark lighting, obviously. You keep your shit in low light, and you make them quick.
They were
don't have too much of them, because that's the one thing about, especially the first Alien movie. What made them so spooky is that you didn't see them rarely ever. They have a very small amount of screen time, but when they did have screen time, they fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So that's what made it effective. They made it aside from the fact that just Geiger's design of everything in the movies are amazing. But yeah, I don't know, because if you remember sticking in this kind of time frame when Batman and Robin came out, Bane was just in a big fucking muscle suit.
Yeah.
And it didn't really it didn't look bad really.
Was it an actor? I thought it was an actor, an actual muscular actor.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they had him in a suit.
Well, because I saw behind the scenes footage and I thought it was a professional wrestler or something like that.
But he still had a bodysuit on.
No,
you remember, what I mean? It may have been a big dude underneath it, so they didn't have to use as much. But there's no way. Dude.
Wasn't the original guy that they turned into Bane?
No. Yeah, they would have had somebody else there to do that. But yeah, but I mean, it didn't look bad necessarily, but it also you're limited on how just aesthetically how it can do, because that's a person. Because practical wings are kind of hard to fuck with.
That's where I was thinking.
So I just don't see this sequence actually just aesthetically looking very good. Just for the time frame it came out, because if they went full CG, the CG back in the 90s was garbage. Yeah. At best, you're looking at PS2 level graphics back then for
at
CG.
Best, yeah.
And I wouldn't buy Batman because the only way they could do it to make it look good, quote unquote, would have had to do a CG double for Batman himself too.
Yeah,
just like they did in the Matrix Reloaded, when it looks like shit when you go back and look at it. Now, really he's fighting all the Smiths and they do a full CG. It looks like shit.
It really does.
The cloth rendering is the main thing that made it look like shit. And I mean, you might have been able to get away with it and looking a little bit better because Batman's suit isn't cloth. So maybe it could look good. I don't know why I'm breaking down the science of CGI for this, but
yeah.
I just don't think, for one, it would have made it any darker. Like you said, I think it probably would have just made it kind of goofy.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool, but in the end, I don't think they could have pulled it off.
I don't think it would have looked good.
Yeah, I don't think it would have looked good in any way, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So because just learning about this being in the movie now doesn't make me wish it would be in there. Like a lot of other things, when you hear the Snyder Cut, for instance, I want to see. I'm very intrigued of what the Snyder Cut is.
Yeah.
We know Darkseid's in it, and I want to see that shit. You telling me that there's some Man-Bat thing from a movie that came out in the 90s, I'm not really that interested in it. And I don't think your selling point of there's a darker version of Batman. No, there's fucking not. Batman Forever was darker than Batman and Robin, but it wasn't dark, dude. You got Jim Carrey in there acting like Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
and then Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, he was acting goofy as shit.
He was it was such a goofy Two-Face.
Yeah, they were super campy and over the top. So I just don't think. I think the whole selling point, like I said, of him saying there's a darker cut of Batman. No, there's not. There's maybe a cool scene that, again, I don't think would have worked very well given the time period. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, guys. That's kind of our thoughts on it. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, well, one, are you interested in seeing this? Do you wish that WB would release this cut? I'm kind of on the camp that I would watch the clip of it if they released it, but I'm also not going to be signing petitions for them to release the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. I'm fine with what we got from it. So whatever you guys think, just let us know down in the comments section below.